Hello again. My name is Jeffrey Price. I'm the CEO of Plan Logistics Solutions. And in this video, I want to share with you a case study that we went through. In this case study, I want to share with you a problem analysis that we had to perform because in all transparency, an error that was caused on our part. In most case studies, clients and customers, they want to show about all these things that went right. And to be honest, working in supply chain management, especially in transportation logistics, not everything is going to go right. Carriers do sometimes show up late, and sometimes receivers are backed up, warehouses are short in manpower, and just some things are out of our control that happens in the industry. So what I want to share with you is a situation that happened in October and how we were able to learn from it, live through it, and take lead. So with these 3 L's, I'm going to expound upon and share with you during this case study. So let me start off with a little background. One of our biggest clients, they do over 90 million a year in sales, and we love that relationship that we have with them. So what happened was they gave us the opportunity to run a load for them. It picked up in the Midwest, delivered to the West Coast, and it had 2 stops. So we do our process. We vetted the carrier for their insurance, made sure that they hit all the check boxes, and we assigned them to the load. So they picked up the load, and as soon as they begin the transportation across the West Coast, we noticed some red flags. The truck broke down. They advised they were going to be a little bit late. Then come to find out, a couple of days later, once they passed the delivery date, that they wanted us to change the contract delivery terms. So in other words, what they agreed upon to deliver, they were now making demands while they were holding the freight. So in other terminology, they were holding the freight hostage. Now, as a third-party logistics provider, this is the worst case scenario that could happen, right? Because now the freight is being held up, the delivery isn't going to happen unless we meet their demands. And on top of that, I have to have an uncomfortable conversation with the shipper and let them know what's going on. So at this point, we established that we need a plan of action. We need to start countermeasures in place to, 1, make sure this never happened again. 2, be transparent and honest with our client and let them know exactly what happened, when it happened, why it happened, where it happened, and how it happened, which is also a problem analysis. And most importantly, get this freight delivered at all costs. Because at the end of the day, there are people whose jobs are on the line if this freight doesn't deliver. Because if this freight is just sitting on a truck and doesn't reach its final destination, then somebody isn't going to have any work to do that day. Somebody who needs to buy this product isn't going to have it to purchase. So with these things in mind, we made the decision that this had to get delivered at all costs. So step 1, honesty, integrity. We told the shipper what was going on. I presented to them a problem analysis that gave in detail the what, when, where, why, and how, along with a step-by-step activity and communication of what was going on. Because communication is key in this industry. And there's a popular saying, kind of an old school saying, that misery loves company. But from my experience in the military and from my experiences doing global transportation logistics, misery just comes with the territory. However, misery also can be thwarted with good company. So misery enjoys good company. So when you're going through a miserable time, which is inevitable in supply chain management, especially in transportation, because stuff is just going to happen, if you're with the right people who can get your freight to the right place at the right time for the right price, then can you find peace in the transaction and comfort in while you're going through the situation. So let's circle back around. Now the carrier has the freight, they're refusing to deliver. We've been transparent. We tell our shipper everything that's going on. So what we're doing right now is we are reaching out to the authorities. We're reaching out to the carrier's insurance, and we're providing daily updates to the receiver about what's going on, as well as communicating clearly to the shipper of what's going on as well. So between that period of 2 weeks until we can get it delivered, we're providing constant updates. We are making sure that everyone who's involved in the transaction knows where we are in every step of the way. And we're reaching out to the parties involved to help us push the shipment forward. So we're going to fast forward to the resolution. The carrier did end up delivering, but what we had to do is we started the process to file an insurance claim. What this did was it initiated the carrier's response timing to what was going on. So that was step one. Two, we filed a police report. We let them know exactly what was going on with the hostage situation and got the right people involved to help us. And third, of course, I submitted a problem analysis to the shipper detailed on what countermeasures we were going to propose as a company. And those countermeasures include joining the TIA, the Transportation Intermediaries Association, which is the largest third-party logistics voice in America. So what this did was it enabled us to join their watchdog program and vet carriers in more detail. Additionally, we joined Carrier 411. So I share this with you so that you can see how we took ownership of the situation. We knew that in order for us to move forward and keep that relationship with that shipper, that it was more important to us to take lead and be accountable than anything else. So we provided that information. And then in between those times, we still kept constant communication with the carrier, negotiating, making payment demands, because at the end of the day, we take ownership. We messed up because we put the carrier on the load without having the proper checks in place. But now we learn from that lesson and that we can pay it forward to you, that we won't go through that situation again because we put the countermeasures in place in our vetting process. And I share that with you in transparency to know that you're partnering with a company that cares about you. We'll take that extra step. And to be honest, when it came down to the payment, our shipper did not want to pay for that transaction. So we absorbed that cost. That's right. We paid for that shipment to get delivered because we knew it was the right thing to do. And that's what's most important to myself and all of the agents that work with me at Plan, is that we want to do the right thing at all times, no matter the cost, because we are not in the sales business. We are in the relationship business. So I hope that this case study provides you comfort in moving forward and building a relationship with Plan. And like I said, they say misery loves company, but good company will always thwart any opportunity for misery to be abound. And you're partnering with a company that cares not only about your shipment, but cares about you. So thank you for your time, and I look forward to working with you. Have a great day and take care.